And I'm here on a mission of mercy. Money's out there, you pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you. Do I have your attention? Do I have your attention? Put that coffee down. Put that coffee down. That's my name. That's my name.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
Only one thing counts in this life. Get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
What's going on, my friends? Welcome into this week's Ask Me Anything. My name is Ronell Richards. For those of you that don't know me, the author of Shut the Hell Up and Sell, founder of Business and Bourbon, lover of Los Angeles Lakers basketball, Ohio State football. Oh, my light's not on. Let me get that light on. And unfortunate fan of the Atlanta Falcons. It's been a rough year. Hey, want to welcome you guys in to my weekly Ask Me Anything. Check in. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what's going on. I'm really I'm starting this week with some fantastic energy. I'm really excited. As last week we had our Shut the Hell Up and Sell Summit. If you were there, you had a great time. You made some great relationships, or built some great relationships, met some new people, heard some great speakers. If you were not there, you wish you were. It was one of those things, guys. I said before the event, I said, this is going to be one of these events that you will wish that you were there, and you will regret if you were not. What's going on, Clint? Clint checking in. Good to see you, Clint Webb, Mr. The Golf Networker. So anyway, it was an amazing event, but we've got some tremendous energy and momentum coming from that event. Thank you to all you guys that were out there, that came and hung out with us and had a good time. And most importantly, built some business relationships, because fun is overrated if it doesn't come with real value. And that's what we're about. So making sure that people are connecting, collaborating, getting real value out of our experiences. It's not about superficial stuff. So anyway, this event, this is always about you guys. The AMA is always about serving, going through some concepts in the book, helping you guys get motivated, helping you get fired up, ready to go this year. Ted, what's going on, my guy? Ted checking in from Scottsdale, Arizona. I see you, bro. So yeah, that's what this thing is about. Going over some concepts in the book. If you have any questions, you got some stuff that's going on in your world right now from a business perspective, from a sales perspective, from a marketing perspective, whatever it is. If you think I can provide value, or the community can provide value, throw it out there. Gio in the house. What's going on, my guy? I see Mr. Owens. That's my guy. Okay. So today, guys, what I want to talk about is chapter 9, active listening. And again, this is your show. This is all about you guys. So feel free to take me another direction if you feel like we need to. at some point. If you have questions or whatever, just ask them. There's no wrong question. There's no wrong time to ask a question. Bring it on. Okay, so we're going to talk about active listening. And this is something that, I believe that sales is life. A lot of times, when you're in my line of work and you're doing sales stuff, people are often will say to me, "Oh, well, that's cool, but I'm not in sales, so I don't know if it applies to me." Sales is life, people. It's communication, it's service, it's providing value. Like whether you are selling iPhones, or you're trying to get a date, or you're trying to order some food, or you're trying to whatever, there's always some aspect of sales involved. So today I want to talk about chapter 9, which is focused on active listening. So first, let's understand that the benefit of understanding how to be great at active listening goes way beyond trying to sell something. So first, why is it important? Why is it important? Well, there's a lot of reasons that it's important, but in the sales environment and in the business environment, it is important because you cannot win unless you understand what matters most to your prospect, what matters most to the person you're wanting to do business with. And you cannot understand what matters most to them if you're not really listening. All right, this is something that we all know, right? You guys all know this. We've all heard that thing. You got 2 ears and one mouth for a reason, right? What they don't say when they say, "Oh, you got 2 ears and one mouth for a reason," what they don't say is how the hell to actually actively listen, right? It's like we know we should, but it's hard as hell to do, and it's especially hard in a sales environment because we're constantly thinking about how we're going to respond to things. We're constantly thinking about, okay, what am I going to say when this person says this? Like we're taught wrong. That's where it starts. When you go back to like training and business and sales, we're always taught to have rebuttals ready to go. That's some bullshit, especially in a solution sales environment. Rebuttals are trash. Here's what I mean by that. What we have to do is divorce ourselves from the product or service that we are selling or representing once someone grants us an audience. Once we get that opportunity to sit in front of somebody, they're honoring us with their time. Now it has to all be about them, not about us. All right. So we got to divorce ourselves from our products and service. We got to be really great at asking open-ended questions that get to the heart of what they care about. What's going on in their world? When I'm sitting down and I'm doing discovery with someone, what I want to know is what motivates them. That's what I'm trying to get to. And the questions I ask, I'm trying to ultimately get to, hey, what's going to get this person fired? What's going to get this person promoted? What is going to impact them the most, right? Like, what do they really care about? They've granted me an audience because they care somewhat about whatever my product or service is and how in some way, shape, or form may impact their company. But that's not the most important thing to them. I got to understand what the most important thing is. And once I understand the most important thing, then I can craft my demonstration, my presentation, my proposal, whatever the hell it is that you want to call it. I can craft it in a way to where it impacts what they care the most about. Right? Like a proposal, demo, presentation, whatever. It's like throwing a dart at a dartboard. You got to get the bullseye. You will not get the bullseye unless you fully understand what matters most to that person. Okay, I'm going to give you some tips on how to do this. Because again, we talk about it, but we don't really know how to do it, right? How do we actively listen or active listening? How do you say that properly? I don't know. I wasn't an English major. All right, so couple of tips, because in the book I'm all about philosophy and I am sharing my philosophy, helping educate people as to why I think a certain way through telling stories from my life. So I'm about philosophy, and then I'm about practical, pragmatic execution. Simple, like a lot of what you see out there doesn't connect the two. It's either sales books or management books that are like textbooks that are like this, right? Super instructional, which just doesn't work for me. Or it's all philosophical, it's all theoretical. So I like to bridge the two. All right. So let's talk about some tactics for actually active listening, a couple things that you guys can do. And again, this applies not just in the sales world. This is business in general. This is life. This is life. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is I, I think this was about probably about 2 years ago. I was giving a speech for a group at Sales Intel at one of their conferences, and one of the questions that I was asked is like, how do you prepare for um, like prospecting and other things, like get yourself geeked up? And I said, well, the first thing you're doing wrong is getting yourself geeked up. Stimulants, like, so what is common in sales, in the sales world, is sellers will get themselves fired up. All right, because we think that we're like, I don't know, about to go play an NFL game or something. We're not. Anyway, so we'll get ourselves fired up on caffeine and sugar and maybe some chants and some rock music or some hip hop music. Okay, let's go. Arr! That's the first mistake that you're making. The goal, whether it is prospecting or whether it is discovery, sitting down with the customer like we're talking about, or sitting across the table from someone to do business, the first goal and the first objective is to be present. If you want to be a good active listener, you have to be present. So kill the stimulants. Okay. Get rid of the caffeine. You don't want to be overly caffeinated. You don't want to have a bunch of sugar in your system. You want to be present. So that's tip one. Kill all your caffeine and all that before you sit down with people. Substitute that with something like tea, like chamomile, ashwagandha, magnesium, something that has you here and present. Okay. You don't want to be overstimulated. Here's another thing a tip to another thing that I've done. Meditation. I know it sounds hokey, right? Whatever. Meditate or deep breathing before an important meeting, before you're about to do discovery with someone. Because again, the focus is to be present. I cannot be present if while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about 3, 4, 5, 6 other things. I got to clear my brain. I got to be present. Okay. Here's a big one. Notes. Salespeople, shut the hell up and sell has 20 pages in the back of this bad boy for notes. There's a reason. For one, studies have shown that we comprehend better when we're actually writing something down. I know some of you guys are really smarter than me. You got these photographic memories and all, you can remember anything. That's not the point. Yes, for those of us that can't remember anything, notes help us to comprehend, help us to remember better. But in addition to that, what it does is it lets that person on the other side of the table know that you are present. It shows them that you're present, that you're listening to them, right? If you're taking notes. So notes, super beneficial, again, for comprehension and to communicate through nonverbal communication, right? To that person on the other side of the table, that you are comprehending what they are saying. And it's a great tool to read back to them. This is one of the tactics. This is one of the things I talk. Tactics, it's not a tactic. It's a skill set. Anyway, it's something that I talk about in the book on how to better use notes as a way to be more successful in sales and communication. So think about this. Think about ways that you can use those tools, those tips that I just gave you in your normal life, because sales is life. Yeah, I've already said that once. Sales is life. So think about that. Think about how you can be more present. Think about how that can impact you with your kids, with your spouse, with your partner, with your parents, with any of your relationships. If you take that moment to maybe before you're going to have a conversation, to meditate, do some deep breathing, lower caffeine. Right, lower your caffeine intake, lower the stimulants. Right, drink something like chamomile. Take notes. Think about how that could impact your life. Clint is saying, "You're reading my mind. Being in touch with your breath will help so much." Clint, you are absolutely right. Works for me, and it'll work for you guys too. And it's not as hard as you think. So, like, meditation or deep breathing doesn't have to be something that takes half an hour or an hour or whatever for it to be effective. I think I can't remember one of the practitioners of meditation. I think I did some transcendental meditation years ago. I think it was like 7. I think I learned like 7 breaths. And so here's I'm gonna do it with you guys. So it's just like it's in like 6, out 3 to 4. So like do that 6 times, 6 or 7 times, change everything. I'm telling you. And the more that you focus on it, or the more time you put into developing that skill, I don't think it's 6 and 4. Maybe it's 6 and 6. I don't know. But the more time you spend on it, you'll notice that those breaths get deeper and deeper. I like to go in through the nose, out through the mouth. Some people go into the mouth, out through the mouth, but whatever. It all works. The idea is that you're breathing in air, you're refreshing, you're letting everything else out, and you're lowering your heart rate, so that you can be more present. Skylar, you gave up caffeine and alcohol a while ago. Damn, Skylar, that's a rough one for me, bro, because I'm not giving any of that up. But I know I know I know the importance of moderation and to use a tool. So like caffeine for me, yeah, I have caffeine. It's part of my routine every morning, right? You guys may know this. I have my black coffee with MCT oils and collagen peptides. That's how I rock to get me going. And I don't eat till like 1 to 2. Keep my blood sugar low, keep me from spiking, keep my energy high. Box method is great. So Clint says going 4 in, hold 4 out. So for me, guys, I mean, I got that. I got it down. So I think I'm like 8 and 8, but I'm not. It's not a competition. It's not a competition. Anyway, so that's what's going on. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think about the active listening? It's something that's so hard for salespeople, and it's so hard. Here's why: because of how we're wired. Hear me out on this. Sales can be lonely at times. Sales, entrepreneurship, it can be lonely. The front end of the sales process is lonely, and it's a lot of talking to ourselves. It's a lot of in our heads. It's a lot of keeping ourselves motivated, because there's far more no's than yeses, right? And who's going to tell you that you're the shit if not yourself? You got to tell yourself that. You got to be ready. You got to have that quick. At least that's the perception we have to have, that ability to think quickly, to speak quickly, and all that stuff. I'll debate some of that. That's a lesson for another day. But the point being is that that's how we're wired and how we're taught on the front end. But then once that person grants us an audience, once they honor us with their most valued asset, which is their time, we got to flip the switch. We got to flip the switch, and it has to 100% be about them. And I'm not saying this for some hokey, altruistic reason, some save the world stuff, service, because service becomes such a cliche out there. Oh, service. I'm not saying it for that reason. I'm saying it because this is how you win. This is how you win. If you are good enough to sit across the table from someone and be able to uncover what matters most to them, to peel back that onion, they will give you the recipe to getting their business 100% of the time. I'm telling you right now, they will give you the recipe. But the key is you got to get out of your own damn way. You can't be jumping in. You got to really listen really well. You got to take notes. You got to ask great probing questions, and then you got to dig. Like I teach in the book, we say after every question, we want to know what else, anything else. Keep digging. Keep digging. You keep digging, they're going to give you exactly what you need. Skylar, what are you saying, Skylar? Let me see here. Skylar, it's like most salespeople I meet are just about getting the pitch across and then hope you buy. Skylar, you are 100% accurate in my humble opinion, my friend. However, I don't hold it against you, beautiful, wonderful salespeople, because I love you all. I really do. I love this profession. So I love all of the practitioners. However, yes, y'all are getting it wrong. And most of the time, it's not your fault. It's how you've been trained. So that is the difference. That is what Shut the Hell Up and Sell is about. I am empowering you, the seller. I'm empowering you, the seller. Like what is in this book is not, hey, how to be a better salesperson. No, it's how to build a sales business. A sales business will transcend. It will transcend your company that you're currently at. It will transcend the business that you're currently at. You will learn and understand the fundamentals of building a sales business, which will help you to have a successful sales career and not just tactics. Everything's like sales tactics right now. Use this tactic. It's bullshit. Let me tell you something. What people did, what high level sellers did to be successful in 1949 is the same as in 1979, which is the same in 2009, which is going to be the same in 2049. The fundamentals never change. Technology evolves, cultures evolve, but the fundamentals of salesmanship, which are connection, creating value, understanding our client intimately, and being able to help and serve, that doesn't change. So what I've done in the book is teach you how to do that, as opposed to just this hokey, like, theoretical stuff. It's a lot of theoretical. Everyone talking about service. Oh, service, you're a service. Because what the hell does that mean? How do you do that? How do you provide service? Well, I'm telling you right now, it's in the book. So active listening is a big part of that. So I'm not just saying, yeah, you should listen. We all know that shit. We all know we should listen. I'm telling you how to do it. I'm showing you how to do it so you can actually apply. You can have something to apply. What is Clint saying? What's Ted saying? Ted is saying, I agree. And the pressure comes off when we pause. Listen, don't pretend to know everything, and help our audience. See, we show that we care about them. Yes, Ted. Yes. Oh, you're touching on something that in the book I talk about as well, which is the fear of silence. Silence is golden is the chapter. I can't remember which chapter it is. I call it Silence is Golden. And we're so afraid of silence. We're afraid of that. We're afraid of that in the sales process. We're afraid of that in business. And we shouldn't be. In fact, it can be a tool to success. And it's part of that active listening piece too. So when a customer has said something to you, a prospect has said something to you, and you pause and you process it, what does that say to them? Does it say, oh, he's inept, he doesn't know anything? No, it says, oh, he's listening. Oh, he's really trying to process this. But see, what happens in the sales floor is the exact opposite of that. We are so afraid. We're so afraid of that silence that we got to jump it right in. Oh, but I know. Oh, but here's the answer. Oh, but here's the solution. And what happens is we end up pitching prematurely, or we volunteer too much, or we don't get enough from the customer because we couldn't get out of our own way. We couldn't handle the silence. We couldn't embrace that beautiful silence. Michael Salazar, what's going on, my friend? I've got to verse I get to. Thank you for checking in, my guy. I'm working on monitoring my language. What is Michael saying here? Working on monitoring my language and replacing words I use to see its effect. Well, you know what I like about that, Michael? I like intentionality. No wasted words, no wasted energy, which is something that we do a lot in sales and business, right? We're not just intentional. At Shut the Hell Up and Sell Summit last week, one of our speakers, Kirk Westwood, did a fantastic job with his intentionality. And look, you come to business in Birmingham, you're going to have a good time. You're going to meet some great people. We've got the right people to make great connections with in the house. But as a speaker, sometimes it can be challenging, but it is what it is. It can be challenging because our audience is connecting. They're doing what we want them to do, which is to connect, build relationships. And so you have to be intentional with how you present. You need to be intentional with your words so that you can better connect, so you can earn their attention, which you did a great job of. So shout out to Kirk. But to your point, Michael, just like everything that we do in business and we do in sales, we need to be more intentional. We need to be more intentional about what we say, how we say it, and critical of ourselves, and making sure that it's not, again, about us, because so many things are about us. It has to be, if you want something to be your guide has to be them. Always think about that. How am I serving them? How am I connecting with them? How them, as opposed to me. This is the same thing that we do at Business and Bourbon. Like everything has to be about the audience, man. It's got to be about them, because when they win, we all win, you know? So speaking of Business and Bourbon, guys, I want to give you guys a little peek into what we're doing at Business and Bourbon. What an exciting year. We just kicked off with the Shut the Hell Up and Sell Summit. We'll be hitting the road here soon for some events. So if you're interested in partnering, you want to be a partner, you want to be a sponsor, all you got to do is go to businessandbourbon.live, go to the page for events, private events. I think that's there. And then you can click on for our latest sponsor prospectus, and we'll get that out to you. Or you can hit me up on LinkedIn or whatever. I'm happy to get that to you. We're also doing, so going into this year, we're doing our signature event. We're doing our private version of the signature event, and we're doing some really dope stuff with our virtual experiences. So I want to show you guys real quick just so you can kind of get a visual of what one of our private experiences, in-person experiences, looks like. Check this out. Okay, so while I am super excited to continue to get out there, and Clint, absolutely get out there and hang out in Raleigh, and all the other cities that we've been to so many great cities across the country, but yeah, I gotta get, we love Raleigh. Raleigh's got a special place in my heart, so we'll be back there. Anyway, so if you are interested in partnering and sponsoring, being a sponsor of one of our events or private events, just reach out. But I got something that I'm equally as excited about. So, a couple of weeks ago, I posted and did some things about really focusing about my focus going into the year, because I think we all should have, I don't do New Year's resolutions, but the end of the year is the time for me to really sit back and look at my business, look what I'm doing, and because everything kind of pauses for a minute, right? So I can really get introspective and figure out, okay, where are we going? What directions are we going? So towards the end of the year, we launched a new product that is, man, it's killing it. And I'm so excited, because back to the focus of service and serving our clients and our audience, that's what I'm thinking about. Everything that we do, how can we serve them better? And so we created a new product. Some of you guys may know that we do virtual experiences. We do virtual whiskey tasting experiences and virtual cocktail experiences that are designed to help business leaders to connect better with either their clients, their prospects, their teams. And we kick ass. We're the very best. We're the very best at it. Nobody does it better. Believe that. Part of the reason is because we're super intentional about how we execute and help our prospects and clients to amplify their brands. That's what it's about. I'm thinking about business outcomes. When it's not about entertainment. Entertainment is overrated. A lot of folks in marketing are entertaining and not getting business. They're not converting. They're not leaving an imprint. All right. That's what we want to leave an imprint. We want to make sure that you're building affinity for your brand. You're amplifying your message. That's successful marketing. And then you're converting. You're not just doing shit just to spend some marketing dollars and not getting a return on it. Anyway, so I'm really excited about our virtual experiences and our on-demand version of our virtual experiences. We launched them towards the end of last year, and it's been massively successful. Here's why: because it's allowed our clients to get in at different levels. So we'll do on-demand virtual experiences for as little as 5 people on up to hundreds. The cool thing about this is that, consumer habits have changed. I want you guys, this is another lesson. I want you to think about this in your business. Consumer habits have changed. All right. It's lunchtime here in Atlanta. Think about, you hungry? You want some Chick-fil-A. How can you get Chick-fil-A right now? Well, let's see. You can go to Chick-fil-A app. You can go to Grubhub. You can do curbside. You can do drive-through. You can go inside. There's 5 different ways right there that you can get those. You can get Chick-fil-A. Think about how you consume media, right? Think about that. When I was a kid, you waited till 7 o'clock on Wednesday to watch your favorite show, Cosby Show, or whatever show it was. Now you consume it on your device, whatever device that you want, whenever you want to. All right. So you got to think about this in your businesses. You have to take into account how people consume, how you consume, and we got to adjust. Right? It has to be more. You got to do more things on their time as opposed to your time. So our virtual experiences have been awesome. We've been doing them for multiple years. People hop on a Zoom and they join myself and one of our master tasters, and we walk them through a beautiful experience with custom logo engraved boxes. So our clients' logos are always engraved on these beautiful wood boxes. The only challenge now, we create a great experience, but the challenge is that you guys are busy and sometimes you're a little zoomed out and you got your own thing going on. Your clients got their own things going on. Like to get 20 of your best clients on at 5 o'clock on Thursday may not be realistic because we've changed the way that we consume, right? Think about that in your business. How can you be more flexible? How can you accommodate them? Because that's what it's about now. It's about accommodation. It really is. Like we're in abundance and easy access. So to that end, I want to show you guys give you a little glimpse into our Business and Bourbon virtual on-demand experiences. These are all customized for you, right? Customized for the client. So your logos are on there. People get to consume when they want to. So when they open up their beautiful Business and Bourbon box, like this one right here, the first thing they see is a big old QR code. They pop out their phone, scan that QR code, up pops us and you, greeting them, and then they get treated to a customized Business and Bourbon experience when they want it. Not when you want it, when they want it. So if they want to do it on the weekend, they want to do it after work, whatever. Here's why this is important in marketing and business and sales. It's about making impact, emotional impact. All right. That's what we do. That's our specialty. So like when you make that emotional impact, now you're better able to convert those people for business, right? You've got high emotional alignment. So your job, after we've created this great experience and this moment of high affinity, now these are lessons, guys. You can apply this to all aspects of your business. Once you've created these moments of high affinity, boom, that's the time when you go in for whatever your simple ask is, because you're going to convert all the time. Like, which is, hey, usually it's like, hey, let's have a meeting, let's have a discussion. What'd you think about that experience? How was it? Oh, it was awesome, great, let's meet. They're never going to say no. They're feeling great. They're feeling good about you because you brought them that beautiful experience. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a quick little clip so you can visualize what's going on. My name is Ronell Richards. I am the president and founder of Business and Bourbon, and it is my honor to welcome you to this wonderful event and to present you lucky folks with one of these beautiful Business and Bourbon private virtual whiskey tasting experience boxes. In your box, you have 3 spirits that I've personally chosen for you. In addition to that, you have some distilled water, you have some crackers, you have some jelly beans. You can enjoy this at your leisure. So you'll be led on this experience by none other than 2020's World of Whiskey Icon Award winner, Sailor Guevara, one of our master tasters at Business and Bourbon. She is world famous in the world of whiskey. She's an author. She is a contributor to Whiskey Magazine and just has a wealth of knowledge. I know you guys are going to really enjoy this experience. So with no further ado, I'd like to go ahead and bring on Sailor. Cheers. Enjoy your whiskey.
Hello, CVX VIPs, and thank you so much, Ronell. Welcome to your Business and Bourbon tasting. I am Sailor Guevara. I am a spirit specialist. I write for said that. We want to lean into that dominant nostril, the nostril that's a little bit more open. So when we do that, we don't want to bury our nose in the glass like we do with wine, because this is higher alcohol volume. We want to just go above the rim of our. You might right away, all these things may be going through your head, or you're just tasting whiskey. If you're new to whiskey, you're just tasting whiskey. That's fine.
Bam! You guys get the idea. All right. So totally branded, on demand. You get to watch when you want to watch. So Ted asked, Ronell, you are everywhere in your marketing. How big is your team? I'm assuming I'll take that as a compliment because, yeah, I want to be wherever you guys are. Wherever you are, we want to be there. So great question. How big is the team? So right now we have let me think about the numbers. So we do a lot of outsourcing, right? So I've got 3 video editors that do things for us. We have our internal marketing team. There's 2 people on that team, and one person that heads that up. So there's only 2 people, and then I do a lot of marketing. So yeah, I mean, given our freelancers out there and everything, there's probably 6 or 7 people that touch the brand at some point during the course of a month, right? 6 or 7 people. And that's video production and editing. That's content creation and editing. That's social media management. Now, that said, my personal social media, I manage it. So like you might see some different things from our corporate profiles and everything. And that's my team manages that. So, cause I can only do so much and I do a lot. So, it's always been important to me that my personal message always comes from me. And there's been some times over the years where my marketing folks will like post something on my personal, but when they do, I always make sure that it's articulated, that it is not me, that it's them, on my behalf or something like that, because I always want the message to be from me, and it means a lot to me. So there you go. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. We're everywhere. We're trying to be everywhere though, my friend. Wherever our people are, we want to be there. And if you guys want some tips and some advice or direction on how to leverage that, or how to connect with people, how to, some of this marketing stuff, I'm happy to share. I will tell you one thing. We want to drive while we have a lot of social presence out there and do a lot of things, which always are trying to drive people to our site. And the reason for that is I want to communicate directly with you. Thank you, LinkedIn, for helping us to grow our community and other platforms, mostly LinkedIn, but thank you. But I don't like the idea of LinkedIn controlling my communication with the people that want to get my message, want to receive my message. And so we always encourage folks, go to the site, and, so that we can distribute our message directly to the people that want to receive that. And at the end of the day, like these platforms can cut you off, or they just change their things. Like this past year, it's changed a lot for a lot of people. A lot of influencers, they have noticed that their distribution has dropped drastically, and I get it. I'm not mad at the platforms. I know what they're doing. They want new, right? You're already there. They got you. They need the new people. So if you're new, they're elevating your content that much more. Well, I don't want to play the game. So we've been working hard for years to make sure that we have our own data. So we have our own way of communicating directly to you guys. With some of this other stuff. Skylar says I had to take a big step back and take a look at my business and look inward. Look, look where and what I can improve on and what direction I want the company to take. Well, that's constant, Skylar. I'm glad you're doing that, but that never ends. We should always be doing that, right? Like, we just had a tremendously successful event last week, and before I'm patting myself on the back or the team on the back, I said, well, let's take a moment to look and see where we can improve and grow, because it's about growth for me. It's not about being overly critical, but it's just about growing. Like, I feel like I always need to be growing, always need to be looking ways to be, the best version of myself, and for my companies to be the best company they can be, and the best service to the people that we want to serve. One of the things that's important in that whole process is, I would say you start with yourself and being you and your team, and really analyzing things, and with a critical eye, but don't go soliciting too much. Don't go soliciting. This is key, because a lot of folks will solicit the outside world for advice and direction, or like in general stuff, like maybe you have an event and you send something to everybody, say, hey, what did you think? I caution against that, because everyone isn't qualified to give you direction and advice. Everyone is not qualified to give you direction and advice. Okay. And they can be critical for reasons that, they have like this much visibility into what it is that you're doing. And so they all want to be helpful, but they can not be helpful because they don't have proper context. So again, I would start with you and your team, and and then people that you trust that are unbiased, right? And are qualified enough to give you some direction and advice when you're going through that process of the evaluation. Ted, thank you very much. I can't imagine how you get it all done. So thank you. Well, first of all, Ted, it has been a process, my friend, and it has taken years. It has taken years. And part of that process is, not just getting the right people involved with the brand, but like even training them, like for what you see right now and what we're putting out, like my marketing folks, it's taken 2 years with my existing marketing folks to get them in my head. They're awesome. I love them. But like, just so that we can be more in sync and on the same page. Video editing and everything like that as well. It's been a process. I have been involved with every aspect of it. So, we went from a point where I was doing everything to now there's a whole lot going on. I'm involved in everything, but I don't execute everything. But I know how to, even though I don't, right? So think about that. That's where a lot of people go, I think, have challenges in the marketing world and all that, is that they just try to hire themselves into marketing success, and they've never really got their hands dirty and been in it and don't really understand this stuff. So I understand some things. I understand way better. I understand better than my folks. They understand other things way better than me. But what I know from doing, which I think makes it a good team for us. Rachel Hollis has a quote: "Don't let the people in the cheap seats have a front row seat in your life." Yes, I can rock with that. I don't want it to sound harsh, because I feel like, we can learn from anybody, right? I just think that we have to consider the source and weigh it, right? So, I mean, one person that came to an event and had a bad experience or whatever, I can learn from that. I just have to consider if there's one person and 99 other people were like, yeah, rock. Well, that one person is the outlier. So I got to accept it, which I will, and receive it, but I'm not going to change everything for that one person, or that one experience. That's for an outlier experience. Now, if that one person is a I don't know. Our biggest client and spends $1 million with us every year. And yeah, it's they're not in the cheap seats, as Rachel says. So I'm gonna they'll have more impact. Because not everyone's qualified. Yes, Clint, I follow you, and you are right. You are right. I just wanted to make sure that I clarified in saying that I don't want to by any means think that, because it can come off as elitist. I don't want to be elitist, and that you can't get value from somebody that isn't, at a certain level. You can get some value from everyone, but I find that too often we are making moves and making changes and soliciting advice and soliciting direction and polls and all this stuff from people that aren't really giving us good information because they're not qualified to. Anyway, that's that. Hey, I want to remind you guys, if you're not listening to or watching the Shut the Hell Up and Sell podcast, please do so. It's fire. I mean, it's me and and some great leaders out there talking shop, helping to what I think to evangelize for sales, and by sharing stories and sharing practical, actionable advice, like is in the book. One other thing I'll leave you guys with as we close. That was last week. Jesus, what a week last week. So last week I did a wonderful private reading for a group of technology professionals, which was awesome. And that is one of the things that we're doing with Business and Bourbon with our old-fashioned cocktail experience. So we're doing private readings and old-fashioned cocktail experience. So we'll ship your group our old-fashioned cocktail kits that have everything they need in there to make a beautiful, delicious old-fashioned cocktail. To hop on the Zoom with myself and one of our mixologists. Actually hop on with Haley and Cody, our husband and wife team of mixologists, and they will lead them through creating their craft cocktail. It's really cool. So they hop on. Cody and Haley will lead them through, talk them through making that beautiful cocktail. And then after they make the cocktail, we'll do a little private reading of a chapter of the book and do some live Q&A and help people's businesses. So we did that last week. That was a lot of fun. And that is something that you can find out more about through businessandbourbon.live. Go to go to businessandbourbon.live. Request your sponsorship prospectus, your partner prospectus, and we'll get you that info on out. And you can, if you're interested in that, we can get you guys booked up. All right, it's time for me to bounce because we're a little bit over today. We appreciate you guys hanging in there and hanging out with me, whether you were on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I appreciate you. Much love. Special shout outs. Clint, my guy, Ted, Skyler. You know what we just hit? Just with those guys right there. We got Raleigh. We got like how many time zones do we got there? No, we got 3 time zones. We got Clint and Geo checking in from Eastern Standard Time. We got Ted out there, and is Arizona Pacific? I think it is, right? Okay, we got Skyler in Utah, so we got Mountain. We're trying to get all the time zones. I don't have any of my international folks checked in. Michael, where are you at? I don't have any of my international folks check in. And by the way, on the podcast, we got leaders from all over the globe. Got all friends of mine. So got some fun ones coming up with Mary Henderson, Roy Kowarski checking in from Sydney, Australia. Thank you, Ted. Excuse me. Thank you, Ted. You be amazing again, or as well, my friend. Again, Jesus. And look forward to catching up with you here in 23. And appreciate your support. All of you guys, appreciate your support. Let people know what it is that we're doing, man. Let them know what we're doing. Make sure they get their books. Come out to Business and Bourbon events. Yeah, come hang out with your boy. A lot of stuff going on this year, guys. A lot of stuff. But let's get it. I'll leave you with this. When I walked on stage last week, had the DJ play. Are we ready? Yes, we're in Atlanta. We're in Atlanta, and so that's one of the Atlanta anthems, but it wasn't for that. It was to put people on notice. We're ready. We're coming for it. So Business and Bourbon, shut the hell up and sell. We ready. I need you guys to get ready. You need to get your theme song. Get ready. Go out there and get it. Whatever it takes. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's have a fantastic week. Let's have a fantastic into the month. And let's kill it this year. I will see you guys next week, Monday, noon. I'll be here. I'm committing to this every week. I'm here. All right. See you back at noon next week. Peace out.